Hi, it's Rich Tehrani in the TMC newsroom. We are at Cloud Expo at Jacob Javits Center, and today on our program is Treb Ryan, who's with OpSource. Treb, how are you?
Doing well. How you doing, Rich?
Doing great. Thanks for being on the program.
My pleasure.
So tell me a little bit about your company, please.
Well, OpSource provides, it's traditionally provided a back end for software as a service, cloud applications. So our customers have always been big software as a service companies, either dedicated companies like a Taleo, Exactly, or traditional software companies, Adobe, SAP are two of our biggest customers who are doing SaaS applications. We're here though at Cloud Expo because we're now allowing customers, enterprise customers, to buy the OpSource cloud directly in their environments. And so this is our opportunity to show people how you could use the OpSource cloud, not just through our customers, but if you want to directly implement it in your enterprise IT environments.
And what has been the reaction so far?
It's been overwhelmingly positive. I mean, it's amazing what people really love about the cloud. The immediate availability, the flexibility that comes along with the cloud, the APIs and the ability to kind of share and create together. This is really about how web generation, someone who's grown up using the internet, does business. And so how do we take that with things that people really like about the cloud and web and bring them into a corporate environment where what you might have used for Google or Facebook, you're now using to run your financials or your CRM or your corporate IT. And so when you can provide that type of capability, with that flexibility, with that micro pricing, the 4 cents a CPU hour, and combine that with things like security and private networks and corporate control, we've seen people get very excited about doing that.
Now, regarding security, are customers more comfortable now with the security in the cloud?
Not yet, no, and it's unfortunate because the cloud, the big cloud, is not necessarily insecure. The fact of the matter is, applications that have been running in the cloud, SaaS applications, have really addressed the security issue a long time ago. I think people are fairly comfortable with the Salesforce or when Adobe's in the cloud, that not only is it as secure as our data centers, often can be more secure, that there's better controls. All my employees are background checked. We get audited 8 times a year. That you don't have to worry about laptop data. There's many things that make the cloud very secure. But the cloud infrastructure, this idea of getting servers for pennies an hour, the stuff we're talking about here, still is a very dangerous place. I mean, most cloud infrastructure environments are built on shared networks, so you don't have any ability to have a private section that you would want to put your database in or information. And they're all built on having one username and password for everybody in the environment. If you go to most cloud infrastructure today, it'd be like and they give you one username and password, by going to Salesforce and saying, I have 100 salespeople, and they go, okay, they all have one username and password, and by the way, it's an administrative username and password, and that and they can do anything they want within that environment.
That's not good.
So we in the cloud infrastructure space have a lot more we need to do to make sure that we're on par with what even a small business would expect in terms of security.
It's good to hear. Now, have you seen a lot of enterprise customers at this event that you've spoken with so far?
Well, those issues are beginning to get addressed. So you see people either layering on services like a right scale that allows you to do, for example, separate usernames and passwords, or OpSource built in the OpSource cloud. And as a result, we are beginning to see a bigger amount of enterprise adoption. For us, we've seen everybody from Sony or Thermo Fisher, which I never even heard of, but I guess it's like one of the top 150 companies in the world, adopting cloud for their applications. But the funny thing is, we're seeing just as much my mango pudding design and Country Computers in Scotland also doing it. So the great thing about the cloud is, even if you try to make it enterprise focused, you'll see those enterprise customers sign up. But because you can sign up online and put a credit card and get going for 20 cents an hour, you'll see that really those capabilities extend to all different types of customers.
So in terms of backing up your data in the cloud, how are customers dealing with that kind of issue?
Yeah, we're having some really interesting discussions about that just today, because while the data in the cloud is HA by nature, that's much different than backup. And cloud users often like to be very much self-service. So you come to a company like OpSource, you can use the OpSource cloud. If you want, we'll back up the data for you. We've been doing that. Obviously, we do that for all of our larger SaaS customers like Adobe and Taleo, and we can do that for you in the cloud. But they're asking, how can I take what I like about that cloud, that kind of self-service API, and also transfer that into my backup capabilities? And that somewhere sits between a full cloud deployment and a kind of managed service offering, and where's that next generation? And I was just sitting down with a company called Commvault, for example, that provides a capability for you to back up your data into the cloud. And the conversation was, well, if you have the ability to back up your data into the cloud, the same tool can be deployed in an OpSource partner image to back up your data off the cloud. So if you want to buy it as a whole managed service where someone manages the backups for you, that's available. If you want to do it yourself, you can install any type of backup software you want. But I think we have this middle level where you actually get preset images that say, I just click this and it will get backed up and I'll manage it, but I don't have to build my own backup software to make that happen.
Well, that's great. Now, what's next for the company?
Well, you know, storage is a big part of it. We just released our storage product this week, so not only can you get servers from us, you can get storage, and you can get that, you know, like everything with OpSource, you get to control individual user access and much finer grain than you can get in the storage products today. But the really exciting thing for OpSource is how we're going to start working with partners to take the cloud out. You know, one of the things that we understand about the cloud is, while it's very cool, it's still infrastructure. You know, it's a great way to get a server or storage, but it's a server or storage. And in the end, no one ever sat around a boardroom table and said, you know what this company needs? A new server. They want solutions, and those solutions can be programs or complete offerings. And you know, we just released the OpSource Cloud as part of NTT. So now if you go to NTT, you buy the NTT Cloud, Nippon Telephone and Telegraph. That's actually the OpSource Cloud underneath it, and you can buy that in conjunction with your network and your hosting all as one package. Companies like Commvault that are taking the cloud and saying, I'm creating a backup solution with the cloud as part of that provide a bigger solution. Those are going to be how more and more how people use the cloud. And you'll see OpSource not just as an offering you can buy on your own, but as something that's integrated as a package solution with a wide variety of different vendors that really solve more corporate problems than just the infrastructure themselves.
Well, that's great, and thanks for being on the program, and good luck.
Thanks for having us. Good to see you, Rich.